Hello YouTube! We're on the real programming channel about HTML and CSS for beginners, and I am its host. My name is Andrei. I greet you. Welcome on my channel. This is our lesson 93, and we will talk about what can go in a form. Let's go! So, you can put just about any element into a form. But that's not what we really care about right now. We are interested in the form elements that create controls in the browser. Here is a quick rundown of all the commonly used form elements. We're going to start with the input form element, which plays many roles in the form's world. Text input. The text input element is for entering one line of text. Optional attributes let you set maximum number of characters and the weight of this control. An input element with a type attribute of text creates a one-line control in the browser page. Use the type attribute to indicate you want a text input. Most form elements require a name that is used by the server script. We'll see how this works in a bit. The input element is a void element, so there is no content after it. Submit input. The submit input element creates a button that allows you to submit a form. When you click this button, the browser sends the form to the server script for processing. The button is labeled Submit or Submit Query. By default, although you can change that, we'll show you how later. For a Submit button, specify Submit is as the input element's type. Notice that both of this use the same HTML element, but with different values in their type attributes. Radio input. The radio input element creates a single control with several buttons, only one of which can be selected at any time. These are like all time car radio buttons. You push one in and the rest pop it. Use a radio input for each choice. All the radio buttons associated with a given set of choices must have the same name. The radio control allows only one set of choices, but each choice has a different value. Checkbox input. A checkbox input element creates a checkbox control that can be either checked or unchecked. You can use multiple checkboxes together, and if you do, you can check as many of you as you like. Unlike radio buttons, a checkbox allows there or more of set of choices. Each checkbox has a different value. Related checkboxes also share a common name. Like radio, you use one checkbox input element for each choice. Same here, we're still using the input elements just with different type values. What can I go in a form part 2? Okay, not every form element is an input element. There are a few others, like select for menus and a text area for typing in more than one line of text. So why don't you get familiar with this as well before moving on? Oh, and by the way, once you do that, you'll know 90% of the form elements and 99% of the form elements that are commonly used. Text area. The text area elements creates a multi-line text area that you can type into. If you type more text than will fit into the text area, then a scroll bar appears on the right side. Okay, text area element is not empty element, so it has both opening and a closing tag. Use the name attribute to give the element a unique name. The close attribute tells the browser how many characters wide to make the text area. The rows attribute tells the browser how many characters tall to make the text area. Any text that goes between the opening and closing text becomes the initial text in the browser's text area control. You can also specify the weight and height of text area using CSS. Select. The select element creates a menu control in the web page. The menu provides a way to choose between a set of choices. The select element works in combination with the option element below to create a menu. The select element creates a menu that looks like this, although the look will vary depending on the browser you're using. The select element goes around all the menu options to group them into one menu. Just like the other form elements give the select element in unique name using the name attribute. Okay, and option next. The option element works with the select element to create a menu. Use an option element for each menu item. After clicking on the menu items drop down. The content of the option element is used for the menu items description. Each menu option also includes a value representing the menu item. Oh, even more can go in a form. Okay, wait, HTML5 adds even more great input types. Don't forget those. Oh yes, we can't forget all the new fun stuff. With HTML5 we got even more specialized input forms. Let's take a look. Number input. The number input elements restricts input to numbers. You can even specify a mix and max number that is allowed with optional attributes. The number type means you're expecting a number only, not text. Some browsers show arrows next to the input area you can use to increase or decrease the number. Use the max and min attributes to restrict the menu numbers allowed. Range input. The range input element is similar to number except that it displays a slider instead of an input box. Both number and range have an optional step attribute you can use to specify the number of intervals for the values. Color input. Use the color input to specify a color. When you click on the control, a color picker pops up that allows you to select a color rather than having to type in the color name or value. If the color input is not supported by the browser, you'll just get regular text input instead. Date input. Use the date input element to specify a date. With the date picker control, the control creates a valid date format string to send to several scripts. Like with color, if the date input isn't supported by the browser yet, you'll get regular text input instead. Email input. The email input element is just a text input, but on some mobile browsers you'll get a custom keyboard for mail when you start typing. Tell input. The tell input element is also just a text input, but like email, causes a custom keyboard to pop up on mobile devices. URL input. Like email and tell, the URL input type is just text input, but causes a custom keyboard to pop it up on mobile devices. These three input types are all variations of the text input type. On desktop browser you won't notice a difference, but on mobile browsers you might get a custom keyboard that makes it easier to get to the characters you need, like slash and add and numbers. Okay, even with these specialized types, it's up to you to make sure you know what values the server script is expecting and use the right input type. Watch it. Not all browsers fully support these input types yet. The input types on these two pages are new in HTML5, and while you can use them in all web pages now, Some may not display as you see them here. Okay. Exercise. The Starbucks coffee website is kicking butt. We've got a new concept called the Beam Machine, which is an online forum to order our coffees. Can you make it happen? A drop-down menu of coffees. A choice of whole or ground coffee. You can only choose one. How many bags and when they should arrive by. A gift wrap or include a catalog. Choice 0 or 1 or both. Here's what the form should look like. Ship to address consisting of 6 text boxes, a box for a customer's comments, and a submit button. Okay. Markup. Magnets. Your job is to take the form elements magnets and lay them on top of the corresponding controls in the sketch. You won't need all magnets below to complete the job. Will be left over. Check your answer in the back of the chapter before in the next lesson. Sorry. Okay, getting ready to build the Beam Machine form. We will talk about this in the next lesson, and this concludes our lesson 93. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Please put likes, share with friends, comment, eat fruit, eat bananas, drink more water, read books, do exercise preferably in the evening every day. And that's all. Thank you. I love you. I like you so much. That's all. Thank you. Bye.